শুরু করে দিয়েছি। Good evening, Partho Sannal, Dr. Taposh Banerjee, Shahana. Good evening. Hope I am audible and visible. 26 January, and keep in mind one thing. 26 January 1929, in Lahore Congress, total independence resolution was passed, displacing the concept of dominion status. And from the next years, this 26 January was started to be observed as the Independence Day of India. And in 1930, please keep in mind, among all the top political leaders of this country, who bled, who was brutally lathi-charged, on this day, 1930, 26 January, is Subhash Chandra Bose. He was leading a procession on that 26 January, which we are observing as Independence Day. He was brutally lathi-charged by the police of Charles Treygott. And he bled a lot. He fell down. In this country, in such a way, no other person has been brutalized in that way. And today you see 26 January in Delhi Red Fort, what has happened. In the name of farmers' movement, they are all the anti-nationals, all the Siku, Maku, Marku and Kongus, all Arbaline Naxals, all ISIS groups, Chinese-backed anti-nationals in India, Khalistanis, all has entered. And they have cheated the Supreme Court, cheated the Delhi police, and they violated all norms, all agreements, and they think they will make the prestige of this government of India today destroyed in the eye of the world media. Take this point. Some Trump supporters did the same thing in seizing the Capitol Hill by violence. And see the boomerang. Same thing will be a boomerang for these anti-nationals, the Shiku Maku Kongus, backed by China and Pakistan, ISIS, Khalistanis, all these terrorists. This will be boomerang for them. Yes, today, temporarily this may be shocking to us. We will recover. And the people of this country will take revenge. Take revenge. It is not a fact that only farmers of this Punjab and Haryana are poor in this country. And keep in mind, the farmers of this area are the richest in this country. They take free electricity, free water, subsidized manures, and everything tax-free. And these farmers are not true farmers. They are the middlemen. Anyway, today I will discuss again my favorite subject, also your favorite subject. The question is, always we discuss and we demolish in our arguments, in our writings, we demolish the plane crash theory. We demolish as and crash theory. But at the end part of our Justice Mukherjee Commission proceedings, when I was giving my final arguments, Justice Mukherjee told me one thing, Dr. Pal, I have accepted your argument and evidences that there is no plane crash. I have accepted that. But that is not sufficient. You have destroyed the plane crash theory. Accept it. But in court of law, you have to tell another story. How we escaped. When you are destroying a story, there cannot be a vacuum. There is something. What is that something? He escaped. He went to the mystery, the unknown land. But you have to give a plausible story. May not be fact, but that must be given here. You have to give it. How we escaped. That parallel story you must give to the court. And that is the norm of the court. When you are destroying a story, you must give another story, which is there. There cannot be vacuum. And naturally, with this sudden question, I could not give answer. I was not at all mentally prepared for such a sudden question, because such a question has never been discussed in the proceedings of the Shahnawaz Khan Committee, and never also in the Justice Khosla Commission in 72-74. Always our seniors there has tried to demolish the plane crash story. That's all. But never it was discussed what is the parallel story. How he disappeared from the scene. Without having this story be, your legal process cannot be complete. And naturally, I told Justice Mukherjee that please give me one night, let me frame that parallel story. May not be fact, but again in your language, possible and plausible. And going home throughout the whole night, because each segment of my parallel story, each sentence must be from the documents already which is exhibits. You cannot bring any sentence from outside which is not already the exhibit in the court. You cannot frame a story, or you cannot frame any sentence from any other file or document which is not already the exhibit. Keep in mind, that is the law points. And now, and how I framed my throughout the whole night and delivered on the next morning. And at the beginning, I started my argument taking my oath in the name of that luminaries like Shomar Guha, like Ashok Sen, Nariman, and Govind Mukherjee, that the Supreme Court, the brilliant lawyers. I took oath in their names. And then I told Sir, I know the facts. I'll put the facts in my analysis. An analysis particularly from the angle of psychoanalysis. And please, from your point, you will add the legal points. Because legal points I do not know. And Justice Mukherjee obliged. Yes. How I started? Let me give an example. Konkona, let me give an example. Partho, Taposh, Shahana, Orindam, Dipankar, Shaunik, Aritro, Dipankar Chakraborty. How I started? At the beginning. Sir, assuming that, but not accepting, that plane really crashed. And Netaji really died. Assuming, but not accepting. What should have been the facts? What should have been the behavior of the Japanese generals in Taiwan and the Japanese segment of Japanese government officers and the INA officers in Taiwan and INA headquartered in Saigon and Japan headquartered in Tokyo? What should have been the behavior of the generals and the high government dignitaries? Suppose, what would have been the response of the Japanese general stationed in Taiwan? What would have been the behavior of so-called accompanying Habibur Rahman? What could have been the behavior of the persons staying in the headquarters of INA and PGI in Singapore? What could have been the behavior of the Japan government in Tokyo? What could have been the behavior of the British and American authorities in the surrounding area? Sir, please note, in these lines, the natural behavior would be like this. But please see, these persons has not behaved in a natural way. And whatever their behavior recorded in the documents is different. Why the behavior is different? And this difference of behavior is only because plane crash did not take place. Netaji did not die. This was about the whole process of argument about 4 hours. In this way, one after another, each clause. And at the end of 4 hours, the first day, Justice Mukherjee told Dr. Pal, I have accepted your argument. Plane did not crash, Netaji did not die. But tell me how he disappeared from the scene. That parallel story B must be in the court. You must give it. That is the norm of the court. Naturally, on the second day, I set my argument. Sir, you see, from documents, you see, Bose is seen in Saigon on records. Bose is seen before that in Bangkok, then Saigon. And there are stories that Bose in Taiwan. But the records available, exhibit records telling, none has seen Bose in Taiwan. Shoma, you see, no record is telling Bose is seen in Taiwan. On the records, it is seen that no one has seen Bose in Taiwan. How can it be? Even Taiwan government files, British files, which are exhibits, none has seen Bose in Taiwan. Rather, in the Taiwan government file, what is written there? No one knew Bose. Therefore, there is no scope of any persons in Taiwan to recognize Bose, even when he is living or when he is dead. Clear, Soma? And moreover, what is written there in the file? There were two Indians along with Bose. That means they have heard some Bose is there, Netaji Bose is there, as because this is the story fed by the military intelligence of Japan. Naturally, they are telling Bose is there. But in addition to that, there are two Indians. And I told Justice Mukherjee that, sir, in last 60 years, at the time when I was arguing, it was 60 years, yes, 1945 and 2005. That is, yes, about 60 years they are arguing. Sir, by these 60 years, from so many angles of the world, there is so many documents. But nowhere you will see such a thing. There is Bose plus two other Indians. All the previous story, all stories is there is Bose and only other Indian, Habibur Rahman. I picked up this part of the document, and here is my argument. Sir, Nanak Singh Bose and these two Indians. And what is the two Indians' role here? Number one, the Habibur Rahman has played his role in the theater, showing everyone partially wounded, fingers bandaged, which is actually iatrogenic by acid, theatrics. And other Indian played the role of Subhas Bose. And Subhas Bose is known, no one in this Taiwan. And and this second Indian, how? Shoman, you are a doctor. I think Shoman, what is Shoma? Shoma is, and what is, and the doctor was there, I think, two doctors are here. Those who have read forensic science, you see, all stories are telling that Bose underwent third-degree burn. I took up this point from exhibits. If a third-degree burn is there, I told Justice Mukherjee, sir, you are seeing me for last 5 years continuously, every week, but if I accidentally undergo third-degree burn, my skin will be like this, black, dusky. And you will not be able to identify me, not even my close relatives. And even if I am moreover bandaged, it is beyond all recognitions. And you see here the dead body, what? Black, dusky, third-degree burn, and bandaged all over the body. Shoma, third-degree burn should never be bandaged. Those who have read forensic science. And why bandaged? Only a tip of the nose and eyes are opened. The whole body, skull, head, leg, everything fully bandaged. Why? And if a normal person, Soma, again, take point. If a normal person pretends to be a patient and he is painted with a black, thick petroleum material and bandaged throughout the whole body, from skull to toes to fingers, except the areas of the tip of the nose and eyes, will anyone in the world identify the man? And this second man has been used in that way. And Bose has disappeared from someone else. Am I clear, Shoma? and that convinced Justice Mukherjee. Yes. And moreover, at that time I told Justice Mukherjee that real theatre of this Netaji mystery is not Taiwan. The real theatre, where the script of the drama is written, is Dalat, the headquarter of Field Marshal Terauchi, the headquarter of the Japanese army in Southeast Asia. The script is written there, and that is near Saigon. And the script is written not only from the brain of that man, the Netaji, but in addition to that, there was Japanese military intelligence and German military intelligence. Shoma, German military intelligence, take it from me, from documents I am quoting. In Saigon Sea and in Singapore Sea, there were not only Japanese submarines for Netaji waiting, German submarines, Italian submarines. I'm quoting from documents. And then I told Justice Mukherjee that I do not know exactly from which point it disappeared. Main script was written in Saigon Dalat headquarters. But the play was enacted in a distant way, away in the isolated island of Taiwan. Because that isolated island, theatre to be enacted was easy. Because there are not many persons, not many known persons who know Subhas Bose. Naturally, theatre can be enacted better in an isolated place like Taiwan. But the script was written in Saigon and Dalat headquarters. And by that, and moreover I told Justice Mukherjee, for any disappearance, the person must have along with it huge amount of wealth. And you see, in Bangkok airport, documents, in Saigon airport documents, 140 pounds of gold are with him in 4 big boxes. This is essential for any big unknown journey. Gold, not any currency. Currency will not help you. Dipankar, when the submarine came from Germany, only Hitler's government gave him 70 kg gold. Along with that, other European countries, including Italy, gave him extra gold. Which currency will not help. In his unknown perilous journey, gold is the only help. Here again, these are the records. Just search, see, this is the gold. That will help Netaji in his unknown journey. And also see from these documents, clear, from these exhibits, Bose had a plan to go to the place, and the place is USSR. But I do not know exactly in which place he disappeared. Is it Saigon or Turin in between, or really from Taiwan? Yes, I hope I have been able to. Any other question? I will stop it here today, because you please understand. You those who are doctors or forensic scientists, think over my points, and those who have not the subject in the past forensic science, consult your forensic friends and see whether any of my points, anywhere I am wrong. 25 minutes. And subsequently, but I was not happy with my answer. But Justice Mukherjee accepted my parallel story B. He told me, yes, that is possible. I accepted. I could make him happy. But for the last 15 years after that, I always, my question was intricate. Really? Where from he is disappeared? From Saigon? From Turin, where there are documents claiming from Saigon the plane took off. Then it stopped in Turin for a few hours, but no document. And then went up to Saigon and Taiwan and take off, accept all these things. But I do not know really from where it disappeared. From Saigon, or from Turin, or from really Taiwan. And was his last mysterious journey to the unknown was by plane or by submarine? When already the airspace in Southeast Asia, on this side up to Burma, and on that side up to Tokyo Bay, and even on the Japan, the American Air Force has taken control. Is it possible? Or is it easy for Netaji to take that risk to enter into airspace by a Japanese plane? That was hitting my brains. And in last 15 years, I have gone through some additional documents, which at that time, during the 5 years, I could not enter into. And there I am finding few very vital documents, like the evidence of B. Ramchandra Rao. He's a brilliant person, an Indian, born in Singapore, a doctor MBBS from Australia, postgraduate from Australia, another post-graduation from Military Medical College in Berlin, then associated to Subhash Chandra. His evidence, the Justice Khosla Commission in 1971, a very elaborate 50-page document. And then I came across the file now declassified, Gorachand Sannal file. His murder was an official appointed to by CSDIC to Southeast Asia. His press conferences and his files, and also the life history which is now come to the light in the social media, the Leon Prachandi, a South Indian who was in Saigon, a big merchant who donated his wealth for the INA. His life has come to light, and also other documents. And reading all these things in details, collaborating. Now I have come to a conclusion. This last journey was neither from Turin nor from Taiwan, but from Saigon. And not by plane, but by submarine. I will put before you the documents in details, step by step. Please wait for tomorrow and put your questions today, whatever. I try to answer. The history need to be explored, not by only reading volumes and narratives. It need to be analyzed by your brain. And for this subject, Dipankar, Partho, Shoma, you need emotion, you need love, but only love and emotion will not lead you to truth. You must have intelligence. You must have your brain. You must have analysis into each document very critically. And this question, how he disappeared, from where, exactly which point, and by what, this has never been discussed. But documents are there. And let me be very frank to tell you, many of us, we have not gone through the documents already in India properly. Dipankar, I tell you, you are always blaming Modi, he has not declassified. How many persons in this India has really saw, really read, really gone through whatever documents has been declassified? And I am telling not from any classified files. I am telling everything from all files now open, declassified, available. The tragedy is with the Indians, we truly speaking, we do not love the subject. We do not respect, do not love Netaji. In the majority of the cases, our love for him, from majority of us, is just so many, just media show. In last 23rd January, all three groups has danced as if they love, respect Netaji, but all political theatrics. Yes, someone is there, some persons is there. They are truly trying. My respect to them, my pranam to them. Let me stop here today. Tomorrow will be again at this time with those documents. Shoma, I will not speak it today. Think. You put your critical question. You have got a critical mind. Put your critical questions. Oh, already your questions. Sir, a lot of INA officers saw him, got up in the plane in Saigon. Yes, I'll explain here. Yes, he's seen in Saigon by many INA officers, even the enemy persons, the agents of the British, the spies of the British. Many one has seen the plane with Subhash Netaji to take off from Saigon airport. You are right. But Shoma, keep in mind also, the British document, the giant volume, Transfer of Power, volume 6, has clearly written, there are reports that Bose has been seen in Saigon after a few days of the plane crash. Shoma, whatever documents has come, that is sufficient to come to this. It is useless to blame the British government or to the India government. What is already declassified? Have a critical mind, love for the man, an intelligent mind, in emotion. you will come near the truth. ইন্দ্রাণী, আবার তুমি লিখেছো উছি, কেন আছি আছি লিখছো না, ACHI লিখছো না কেন? Yes, they told to our commission that they will declassify some files in 2021. Let them do it. Remember, files only, remember, always some file is somewhere, but copy will be somewhere else. The shadow files will be somewhere else, or parallel corroborating files will be somewhere else in this any corner of the world. The lot of, yes, I will answer to these things. Dipankar, do you feel that acceptance of such a huge quantities of gold in submarine journey from Germany might have been made the submarine heavy? Dipankar, 90 kg gold plus few golds from Italy and other governments of Europe, 110 kg, no problem. No problem. Made the submarine heavy and created added risk of water pressure. No. 100 kg and 20 kg gold is no problem. Dipankar, have you entered into any submarine? You entered into a submarine. How much weight it carry? Enthralling. I think where is Indrani? Indrani must have entered the submarine or any big ship. I hope she has entered for experience. Shoma was supposed to, okay. Shoma, lot of INA officers, yes. Then what question? But I'll give the answers tomorrow, relevant. Enthralling. Artho, so well planned and executed to perfections. Partho, I hope you have read the volumes already well available in the market on the last mysterious journey of Hitler from bunker to airport, from airport to submarine base, and then to South America. There are so many stories, so many volumes, and written by some authors, scholars. See there the steps of his escape, the mysterious tactics of his escape, and those were planned by the German military intelligence. And keep in mind, here it goes in Saigon, he himself, his brain, his own officers may not be good, but Japanese military intelligence officers and the German military intelligence officers planning escape or his mysterious journey. Someone may not like the term escape, okay. It's mysterious journey. Okay. How did the second man clad from Taihoku shot? Oh, I'll give the answer tomorrow. Shoma. Yes. Let me give an answer in one sentence. I gave the answer to Justice Mukherjee. This living man was pretending to be a patient, third-degree burn, bandaged fully. This man disappeared after the evening from the bed. And to this vacant bed, a dead body came. A dead body was entering. The dead body, which was collected in another bed in the same military hospital in Taiwan from 17th August. Shoma, your Planetas theatrics is on 18th. The world knows it. And that man, dead body, is already in reserve from 17th August 45. Where from the record? You see the death certificate of this Ichiro Okura. You see the whatever bedded ticket, this Ichiro Okura was admitted in the hospital on 17th August. How can it be? And the Japanese government and India government is telling this Ichiro Okura is a pen name, it's a sacred name to protect Subhash Bose. And he is Subhash Bose. If that is so, how this Ichiro Okura can be admitted on 17th, one day before the plane crash? Admission days of Ichiro Okura is 17th August. Shomar, take it from me. The Japanese medical officers and military officers has not distorted to that extent the documents. They have not distorted the documents too much. They have kept the documents in front of you. They are not that liars like Indians. They are very patriots. They respect Subhash Bose as God. They took oath to save Subhash Bose, to save Netaji, because they knew to save Netaji means to save humanity, to save the dignity of whole Asia, whole Afro-Asia. They have that knowledge, that wisdom to understand what Netaji is. They did every risk, even the risk of being grilled by the British American forces. They did something to create the safe route for the mysterious journey of Subhash Bose. They took many risks. I'll tell you how many risks they took. Even inviting all prospects of being more grilled by the British American forces. Suppose they did not take any photograph of the dead body or the wounded persons. They took no garments and anything of Subhash Bose. They did not deserve the dead body, all these things. And they cremated there in Taiwan. And that aroused so many questions in the mind of the Anglo-American intelligence. They could not give answers. They are grilled. They are tortured. And even they took all these risk of being tortured only to protect Subhash Bose and your Netaji. And we the Indians, what we have done? There may be a small accident. Yes, you are right. Yes, that was my perceptions. That there was a small accident. Somehow, Subhash Bose was rescued from that crash pad. That was my perceptions to some extent up to 2005, when I was putting my final argument. But subsequent documents has given me clear pictures, much clearer pictures about really what happened. I will tell you tomorrow. Shuma? Shumanto? Dipankar? Yes, Subhash Bose was brutally stick-chased when he was leading a procession peacefully to demand The decommissioning of the Havel also, yes. 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 Then what happened to that police officer? The Charles Tegart, I will tell you. I will tell you what happened to the Charles Tegart. Next topic today? No, I should not. If you do not put questions to me, then I will conclude that you are not thinking seriously. If you put questions, that will indicate at least you are thinking on the subject. Only reading the volumes, nonsense volumes, storage will not lead you to proper line. Think critically. Put your questions. I'll give you answers. Let me stop here today.